Okay,
Kevin will
Kevin second.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And we have those not in favor?
That would be me.
And Robert too, yeah.
So we can't second it and support it, so you need a
No.
seconder.
So
We
we
had
have Kevin, so the vote is 3-2.
Okay, thank you. We're going to move on. And it will go to the board for further conversation, so thank you. I'm going to go to the tenant engagement refresh, and we have, Kathy is going to just make a few comments, and then we have a few deputations here.
So before we start the deputations, and I appreciate everybody who's come forward to talk to this, I just wanted to make a couple of comments. First of all, having a proper, engaging tenant engagement process is critically important to us. The value of getting tenant input is essential. It's been essential for me in my early months, especially in terms of learning, and we're very much committed to that. I have a heartfelt thank you and an apology to our tenant reps as well, because the thank you is that they've been serving us for a long time. They've been serving their communities, and we have had to ask them to kindly continue to be tenant reps within their buildings until we've got the opportunity to come up with the new model that we're going to use for tenant engagement going forward. So letters have gone out to the tenant reps asking them to please continue to work with us as we go through this transition period. And the majority of tenant reps, I understand, have been supportive and willing to stay on. In buildings where the tenant reps will not be staying on, we're going to look at making sure that we still have some form of input and engagement, and we're going to look at that. The apology I have is that we're behind in terms of where we should be. It's been a learning experience for me, so I came on board, and actually it's 7 months today.
Wow.
That I've been on board.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in some ways it's gone by in a blink of an eye, in other ways it's seemed like 7 years, but it's certainly been interesting, and I've appreciated the tremendous support from staff and tenants. But what I had not been aware of is that there was that report done in July 2017. I think the report came out, the tenant staff advisory report on the tenant refresh process. And what we are committed to doing, so, you know, staff are very busy all the time. There's a lot of things on our plates. We could have, should have perhaps hit the ground running and gone through and had a system in place by now. But the reality is, for whatever reason, it didn't happen, and we're just starting out. So it's really important to know that we're behind, but we're very committed to making sure that we're doing it right. We're going to take this year to do thorough consultations, to work not only with the advisory committee, but also to work with tenants more broadly, because this is too important not to get it right. So we're going to take the year, and we're working towards making sure that by January 1st, 2019, we've got the new system in place. I also want to address something that has come up at a meeting that was held recently. There was talk about, you know, we've got a model, or we already know what the solution is. We have had teams looking at what could work well. Julio's at the back of the room. I was very impressed when I went out to a Regent Park meeting and saw the level of engagement we had with tenants out there. So, you know, we've got some thoughts, but I want to be very clear that there's no foregone conclusion. There's nothing that we have that we're going to basically take forward. We want to go through the process. We want to get the benefit of input from tenants and make sure that we're doing something that both the advisory committee can support, that is going to respond basically to the recommendations that were in that July report, and that ultimately are going to serve our tenants best going forward. So apologies for being late on the process. We're going to take a year to do it, which is probably a little bit more than we had originally contemplated when those report discussions were underway, but we absolutely want to make sure that we do it right and that we're able to consult as broadly as need be to make sure that we've got the right system going forward. So with that, thank you.
Thank you. And I'm going to ask Anita, I think, is first, and then William, and then, or is Kathy first? Sorry, Kathy's on the phone, so do you mind if we do her first? She's in the first.
Who is that? Hello.
Hi, Kathy, it's Linda, and it's thank you for joining us. You just did miss a heartfelt apology from Kathy, and maybe she just wants to tell you 2 minutes. Go ahead.
That's okay. I think the apology is the important
Okay,
part.
well, thank you for taking this, because I'm in the middle of a move, actually, from a unit modification for accessibility. So thank you for taking my deputation by phone.
You go right ahead, and you're welcome.
So I just wanted to give you the RPath update on what's going on. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, perfectly.
Yeah.
Okay, great. We're working with Resident and Community Services Division to ensure that all the human rights are protected throughout the new engagement process. RCS is committed to having meetings in all the communities, but unfortunately, not all of our communities have common space like community rooms, meeting rooms, and available spaces to have these meetings and provide accessibility. So we're working with RCS to map out a strategy to ensure everyone can participate. And I want this to be really clear to your committee, as this may make the process longer in delivering those community meetings, but it's absolutely necessary to make sure that everybody can participate. Because sometimes you can't get the rooms scheduled where it is available, to make sure that accessibility is available. So although RCS is giving you a timeline and stuff, I want you to be really aware that because of accessibility needs, it may go a little bit longer just to get those things scheduled, but we're working with them to make sure, because everybody absolutely has to be able to participate. We're dedicated to continue working with RCS to help ensure that there are no optics of human rights issues throughout the process, and that the models developed as a result of these meetings include accessibilities for all persons with disabilities. So we're working very tightly with them. We have regular meetings scheduled to make sure that this happens, and all human rights for persons with disabilities are protected, and they're doing the right thing, and they're getting the right locations, because some locations are partially accessible, and we need to make sure that they're completely accessible, because everybody has to be able to participate, and that's how we protect not only the tenants but the corporation, to make sure that everybody's doing the absolute right thing.
Thank you, Kathy. And there's a lot of Kathys around here. Kathy Milsom would like to make a comment.
Kathy with a C, it's Kathy with a K here. First of all, thank you very much for raising that. It's unfortunate you didn't call in, or we didn't call you when I made my opening remarks. That just in summary, yes, we're behind in terms of kicking this off. We're going to take the year to do it, and it's absolutely critical that we do it right as opposed to rushed. So one of the comments I made is we're going to take all of this year and hope to have the new process in place by January 1st of 2019. And the reason we're taking that is to make sure that we've got the time to do proper consultation, and we're absolutely committed to making sure that those consultations are accessible. Okay?
Terrific. And the team's been working really hard to understand accessibility needs, and I want you to know that that division is working hard to understand some of this stuff, because sometimes they don't have experience in it, and that's what our path is for, is to give them that lens so that they make good, sound decisions, and your team do what they need to do. So we're committed to working with them to make sure everybody gets what needs to happen for the tenants and for the corporation, so that this runs smoothly as possible when it comes to needs for people with disabilities. So thank you for the cooperation of understanding that particular lens. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And I think our next deputant is Anita. And do we want to set up the table? Or?
Okay, Stephen, I'm going to let you guys go. I need to get back to this move.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Hi, Anita.
Good morning. Madam Chair and members of this committee, thank you for giving me the opportunity to give this deputation. Tenant Service is very proud of the new tenant engagement refresh. However, Please tell us how they're going to accomplish this feat, in consideration of what tenants have experienced. It is totally amazing that staff are so threatened by the tenants who do exactly what you profess to be the objective of the engagement model. Tenants who have identified what engagement is, wanted and needed, and are willing to work with staff are ostracized and called troublemakers or bullies. Tenants, especially seniors, do not want to be led. Look at us. We are tenants. We are independent, industrious, experienced, intelligent. We volunteer thousands of hours to you at no or little cost. Any company or organization would be thrilled to have us. Some of the tenants have been tenant reps, tenant leaders, advocates, or tenants that attend various committees because they believe that their voice really counts. Some are tenants who create engagement programs within their own communities or help inform tenants with no help from tenant services, especially the CSCs who are supposed to be engaging communities but don't. The tenants are not the problem. It is the staff that do not take the extra step of answering phone calls or emails, the staff that promise to do things and never follow through, the staff that feel that the tenants have to be led, not supported, the staff that talk to us condescendingly or put barriers purposely in front of us. Yes, it is easy to blame the tenants, but some of the staff, quite often, are the creators and the creatures of the actual problem. We are the ones that create engagement for you in our communities. We put on many programs that staff attend, barbecues, holiday parties, etc. And just think, we do this all with or without your help. You talk to us as if we don't have a brain cell. You act as if we are children in grade 1. Then when we speak up or ask a question, we are told that we are intimidating staff